Well, I think the regulatory landscape has been changing a lot for a couple of reasons. If you look at, there's been some obviously geopolitical influence on regulations. So some classes of regulations are being de-emphasized. However, if you look at the overall regulatory landscape, for example, and if you look at the concerns of a lot of big banks and regulators about AI and the mission criticalness of infrastructure, and if you look at, for example, DORA and the European AI Act, this is having huge implications on the industry. So these are very meaty regulations that firms have to quickly adopt and deploy. Well, our mission today is quite simply to help our clients comply. So in order to comply, a number of things have to happen. First of all, firms have to find regulation, interpret and understand regulations, implement regulations, and lastly, evidence regulations or provide audit trails to regulators that a high standard of compliance has actually happened. So if you look at Corlytics, we offer solutions right through that value chain. If you look at where we've evolved from, we started off looking at regulation as a risk, which we still do today. At the time, it was quite a revolutionary idea, but it's actually gone quite mainstream and it's got a number of applications in a number of areas. So we've evolved from where we are to really helping clients right throughout the whole value chain to be compliant. I think a very important part is now going to be auditability and proof of compliance. So I think what's actually changed is that regulators' expectations, as technology has arrived, their expectations have gone up in terms of firms. So they're looking for a level of traceability. So they want to prove firms know all of the regulatory changes and are aware of them. They then want to prove that firms have done a proper impact assessment of changes. They then want to prove that policies have been updated. And lastly, they want to prove that controls and basically audit trails and reports are provided to the regulator. There's a fundamental thing that it's going to do. If you take a large tier 1 bank, and it wins a mandate, it takes about 40 days to actually open an account for a large corporate, between all the primary and secondary sanctions and AML checks that have to be done. So one thing that what the RegTech solutions are going to do is radically speed up business. So things that took 6 months are going to be done in 1/100th of a second. So they're going to give a lot of firms that adopt the regulation a speed advantage. And classically, we always talked about economies of scale. I think we're now going to start talking about the firms that do adopt are going to talk about economies of automation. So once you automate, your costs will be less, the service you give to your customers are going to be greater, and your speed at which you can do business is going to be like an order of magnitude better.